I hit up a longtime friend the morning before this vid because before I officially took a stance on this ancient topic, I just needed to be sure. I'd spent my childhood watching Kobe terrorize his team, my team, hell, everyone's team it seemed for a good stretch, and somehow around a decade later, I found myself reading the Twitter of all places
he fucked my team up.
LeBron James had in fact eclipsed the glamorous career of Kobe Bryant. So my friend answered, and it was something along the lines of the idea that personally he would take Kobe, but he'd submitted to the fact that LeBron is the greater player and that he does rank higher. And today, after a long time of never really taking a solid stance, I'm gonna explain to you why that's the exact answer I had in my head before he'd even said it. And if you want to see Kobe win his 6th ring next year after he signs with the Warriors, since apparently they're just gonna get everybody, the best place to get your tickets is with the SeatGeek app. SeatGeek app pulls tickets from all things that you could read.
Can't finesse me, nigga. I knew that was coming. I knew that. You can't finesse a motherfucking finesse. Come on, Cole. The only code being used around this bitch right here is code cash. Yeah, you get $20 back in your first use rebate. Yeah.
Really compute, but today I just wanted to speak more from what I've experienced and learned through following these careers so closely. So why have I finally come around to putting myself on record with this debate? Kobe and LeBron has been a brutally debated topic since back in the land before time when I was still in middle school and the NBA was airing the puppet commercials in anticipation of a finals that would sadly never happen. It hasn't really seemed to slow down since then, and the only thing that's changed is that Kobe heavily declined during the debate and eventually retired.
We didn't watch like half of it, right? We watched the whole thing, alright? The chat was spamming it earlier. I know if the chat go quiet when we get on these subjects like this. You know what? Can we just press 1 if LeBron James? We can skip this video, go back to some more gameplay. Press 1. I love his image for some reason though. Kobe played through that thing. I think Kobe played through that thing. I respect that. Press 1 if LeBron James is better than Kobe. So we can skip this. Press 2 if you disagree. You press 2, I will have to continue to play this video. I gotta.
Tired, which means he's no longer here on the court to defend himself, and now he just takes to Twitter to passive aggressively tell you where he stands by retweeting trolls with his 2 cents. But
guys, everybody knows about that, bro. Kobe is salty. Can I get a facts in the chat, bro? That Kobe Bryant is salty because he not placed among the top 3 or whatever, or he's not being compared with Jordan. Can I get a fact in the chat, bro? Everybody knows it, bro. It's a sign of insecurity. It's a sign of insecurity. We're not saying that you're not great, Kobe. You're just not on that level of greatness. That's all we're saying. You salty. You respond to fucking trolls, dog. Who does that? I do that. I'm insecure. Alright? I tweet about basketball, my basketball shit, all the time. So I tweet about I'm trash at basketball. All I bring up the MVP because I'm insecure. I sat the bench in the high school. I know you, Kobe.
Because he's no longer on the court to defend himself or to prove haters wrong, there's a growing number of people who never watched his best days critiquing him, and another group that is just flat out haters and they did see him play, but they're still trying to convince you that he was never that great, and that somehow he shouldn't even be mentioned in the same breath as LeBron. However, having experienced both of their careers up close and having seen them both terrorize multiple teams and fan bases, mine included, I can at least agree that LeBron is greater than Kobe and that he does in fact rank higher. For me, it starts at a base level and has to do with, in general, the type of players that they prove to be throughout their careers. Watching LeBron, you got this guy that seemed to be able to do absolutely anything on the court he's wanted to through skill, brute strength, intelligence, and unselfishness. Kobe didn't have the same strength or size, obviously, but if you listen to his opponents, their takes roughly equate to the idea that he could dominate you through being at very least the second most skilled player of all time, combined with sheer will and determination. But in this debate, Kobe's sheer will and determination is where I'm already able to branch off and start to discuss what's made LeBron greater in my eyes. Over the last year and a half, I've done so much studying on Kobe because he's very entertaining to listen to, in my opinion. But through that, I gained the sense that this unbreakable, unwavering will kind of worked against him at certain points throughout his career.
I'm Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant is Richard. Get facts in the chat.
You may start to recognize this as the infamous Selfish label that's been following him around for a really long time now. Well, he's also probably the hardest working player of all time, and as you learn about him, it basically comes down to it was his way or the highway. I mean, as a regular sized shooting guard, how else could you muster up the courage to fathom fighting Shaq without a weapon? But from what I've learned, what I remember about him, and with the advantage of hindsight, I can honestly say that his most admirable qualities of determination and will actually worked against his career at many key points. Hell, look no further than the rift early on in his career with Shaq. I've already made a video explaining that rift and showing why their breakup wasn't solely on either one of them, but when it came down to it...
Alright, I'm telling you what's going on, alright? I'm a YouTuber doing this for 5 years, okay? What's going on here, y'all, alright? It's called finesse, alright? He's sugarcoating it, alright? But it's up to us as viewers right now. I'm taking it like as a viewer. I have to skip until he gets to the point. He's finessing for 10 minutes. I knew it. I do it. You watch the CashNasty video? You think I put my best edits in every fucking minute? No. I put them in some in the 2 minute, 5 minute, sometimes the 8 minute. You never know where you're gonna laugh. Alright?
The ball more than Kobe because he's a shooting guard and it's not his job. Kobe had it built into his system that sometimes nobody else on the court mattered and he was just going to do it himself. That's part of the killer mentality you always hear about, the Black Mamba, but as I'm going to discuss later, that definitely held him back more than people realize. And so when you think about LeBron, were there times like 2011 where he wasn't enough of a killer? Are there questions about the LeBron system hurting the players around him today? Sure, but the one thing you never had to worry about was LeBron shooting his team out of the game. You never had to question if he was going to make the right basketball play, and you never had to worry about whether he was going to put his own goals over team goals. But it doesn't end there. You know, I absolutely love Kobe's killer mentality, and despite NBA Twitter spending day and night just trying to convince you that it's nothing more than being inefficient or a ball hog, you can talk to a number of his victims and learn that it was probably a little bit deeper than that. However, there is no ignoring that his mentality had its faults and that it did have this nasty tendency to devolve into a one-man show. So where this matters is on the biggest stages, the playoffs, the finals, those areas where legacies are made. Yeah, by now, LeBron has lost almost as many times as Kobe has even been to the finals, but look closely at their legacy-defining moments. I gave this more thought during the 2018 playoffs because after I watched LeBron string together probably the best consistent basketball I've ever watched, I also took note of just how effortlessly he was making everything look. Not only was he just flat out dominating Game 7s or toying with the Raptors as if he was in a pickup game, but for most of his performances, despite his age and sky-high usage rating, he really looked like he was in a scrimmage sometimes. Yes, these NBA hardwood classic performances that he was putting on, he was literally just stringing them together like he was taking a stroll through the park. And then in Game 1 of the finals, for what very easily could have turned out to be the biggest game of his career, he put up a Mozart-like masterpiece that nearly stole home court advantage from the greatest team of all time. So then I thought back, how many times have I seen LeBron just put up career-altering performances with ease in these past years? And the fact that so many of them come off the top of my head just said everything it needed to and more. Game 5 in the 2016 Finals, Game 7 2016 Finals, Game 6 and 7 against the Spurs in 2013, Game 5 against Detroit in 07, Game 7 against Boston in 08. And those are just his classic performances off the top. Those don't even count the playoff series that he just dominated overall as his team breezed to the next round. And from there, I only needed to read one more thing to make it all clear to me. I cracked open the book of basketball because I just wanted another opinion.
This Team Wolf. You didn't crack over a book of Team Wolf to learn about LeBron. Why is this here? You can't finesse a motherfucking finesse.
You know, LeBron and Kobe, and one line in particular stuck out to me. In short, it said that in Kobe's 3 finals from 2008 to 2010, you could argue that he didn't have one classic or all-time performance in any one of those series. Now, I would disagree.
I think we all get the point.
You did fall off for a minute, though.
I think we all get the point right here, bro.